Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Mic check 1 2 1 2. My life is a movie. I know the next black swan. Ha 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 ha. Oops. I think an earthquake just hit. All types of stuff falling over at this place. The next black swan. The information in this video is for parody and entertainment purposes only. And it's definitely not investment advice. But it may save your life. Oh boy. I get to play the person who decides if you live or not. I know it sounds narcissistic, but I am going to be the person who decides if millions of people live or not. All you have to do is like this video and share it. That's it. That's it. And it's so easy to survive, but you have to know what's coming. It's so easy to survive, baby. Don't you want to live? You might not. If you knew what was coming, there's some debate. I've heard people say, Pup, I don't even want to be alive for this. Don't save me. Okay. Well, that's your choice. I'm going to give everyone the choice. Have you noticed that there's a lot of cults being set up? A lot of cults are forming. I formed a cult. This is a cult, baby. Let's call it like it is. You believe some guy on the internet can predict the future. And guess what? In this video, we're going to take that to its logical extreme, baby. Let's predict the future. It's got a lot to do with Bitcoin and Ripple. Have you ever wondered what would happen if someone knew what the next black swan would be? A black swan event is a high impact event that is difficult to predict under normal circumstances. Key words. But that in retrospect appears to have been inevitable. Oh man, it sounds like they're talking exactly about what I'm about to tell you. A black swan event is unexpected and therefore difficult to prepare for, but is often rationalized with the benefit of hindsight as being unavoidable, as having been unavoidable. See, I'm going to screw all that hindsight stuff. I'm telling you, before the black swan event happens, I know the next black swan, baby. Woo! Yeah, all these basic conspiracy theorists. All these basic conspiracy theorists, man. Many conspiracy theorists believe we were predictively programmed for 9/11. What if I told you 9/11 was predictive programming for what's gonna come? Oh yeah, what's gonna come, pup? Have you ever heard a guru on the internet be called a shill? Implying they work with someone? Who do they work with? The casino? The market makers? I don't work with the market makers. Who do I work with? Who brought me out to Seattle and told me to do all this? Any guesses? No, that's post Black Swan. That's all post Black Swan. We're going to get into the Black Swan in this video. 9/11 predictive programming, the buildings cascaded. Remember? All the truthers said, what? Jet fuel, like Boeing is headquartered in Everett, Washington. Jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams. And all the fact checkers said, what? No, the buildings cascaded. You don't understand physics. One plane took out a whole floor, and then all the other floors cascaded. It was all predictive programming for the Cascadia subduction zone megaquake. Da 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 da! Da 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 da! Yes! The Cascadia subduction zone is capable of producing megaquakes or beast quakes. And one's about to go off. But someone, I almost said it. Oops. Someone, they're not just going to use that risk event. They're not just going to waste that risk event. They're going to use it for the New World Order agenda. And this event is 0 hour for the New World Order. Oh, don't worry if you live in Seattle, baby. Don't worry if you live in San Francisco, because I'm going to tell you when to leave. I'm going to tell you when to dip. You can wait until the last second and then just leave. I'm going to tell you when this is going to happen. Oh, man. It's going to be beautiful. The Cascadia subduction zone megaquake is coming. Puppy trades, what does this have to do with the stock market? We'll get into that in probably a different video. But let me tell you something. I ain't gonna be living in Seattle much longer. I'm getting the hell out of this place. And I'm definitely not buying property here. Oh, man. And if I did have property here, oh, baby, there'd be a lot of earthquake insurance and a lot of tsunami insurance. Parody. Someone has been forming large cults throughout the United States. A lot of cults are being formed. And a lot of these cults believe something very interesting. That when Donald Trump has, that he's 45 and 47, you'll notice he doesn't have an ampersand. He has a 45-47. Like he's been president from 45 to 47. Well, that's not right because Joe Biden was president, right? But you can see Joe Biden is wearing a mask. I'm not talking about this mask. I'm talking about this mask. Look with your own eyes and see this little square. Why is Joe Biden wearing a mask? Have you ever heard that Joe Biden was a little creepy? Yeah, he was a little creepy. Ever heard that? I've heard people say Joe Biden was creepy. He sniffs little girls' hair. They believe Donald Trump was president during Joe Biden's administration. And he just had some naval officer playing the role of Joe Biden. Isn't that a crazy cult? That sounds like a crazy cult to me. Why are these cults being formed? And do they have any merit? What if I told you that court documents have shown Donald Trump had Q clearance with the Department of Energy in 2023? I saw this in black and white. I said, what's going on here? Why would Joe Biden give Donald Trump Q clearance? Because that's the only way he could have it. The only way Donald Trump could have Q clearance, is if Joe Biden gave it to him. Well, that didn't make any sense. Why would Joe Biden, who's called Donald Trump the biggest threat to democracy ever, give Donald Trump Q clearance? It doesn't make any sense. If these cults who believe Donald Trump was president in 2023 were right, then they'd be able to make insane predictions that no one else could, right? Right? What do these cults believe? In short, celebrities and politicians engaged in sex trafficking and consumed a drug called adrenochrome, which Bitcoin was used to buy. So flip the switch refers to adrenochrome, that message getting out. Hey, Bitcoin was used to purchase not just cocaine, it was used to purchase adrenochrome, which is harvested from torturing children. That's what Monsters Inc. is about. And Donald Trump has said in a tweet, he's referenced adrenochrome. He called it chid larin. And everyone said that the chid larin, he was just misspelling. No, chid larin was actually something you could buy on Alibaba. You could buy chid larin on Alibaba. And that is adrenochrome. So there's a long list of places where satanic elites were blank kids underground, and the tunnels needed to be flooded out. And so if you know about this list of places, one by one, you've been able to watch each of these places get destroyed by the deep state, by weather weapons. or just the weather, natural disasters, right? Natural disasters. Think about those natural disasters for a little bit. Have you noticed that we've had a lot of natural disasters? Have you noticed we've had a lot of plane problems? Oh, we're going to get into that. We've had exponentially more plane problems. So this one really caught my attention. This guy, he must be a weatherman or he must be a prophet. But for parody and entertainment purposes only, this guy was able to predict that the Biltmore estate in Asheville was going to be flooded out. And then lo and behold, Hurricane Helene came and the Biltmore estate in Asheville got flooded out. He said in addition to the total wipeout of the Biltmore village in Asheville, the Biltmore estate was owned by the Vanderbilt family. It was also flooded out. As it turns out, the sick pedo art below was owned by none other than Tony Podesta, proud member of the Red Shoe Club. What? The Red Shoe Club? That sounds like some Jeffrey Epstein, P. Diddy, really gross stuff that I'm not even going to talk about. Yeah, so you get the point. They were doing some very naughty stuff to children in places like the Biltmore estate, in places like the underground tunnels in Disney World. So what's going on here? Celebrities and politicians who consumed adrenochrome were replaced with body doubles. They partied too much with P. Diddy and Donald Trump's claim to Christ, because he's going to play Jesus, right? Donald Trump is going to play the second coming of Christ, the antichrist. Obviously, he's not really Jesus. I hope I don't have to explain that to anyone. But Donald Trump's claim to Christness is that he's going to take down these pedos. So they're going to tell you Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton were doing really bad stuff to kids. And Donald Trump did something about it. He saved the children. Wow, isn't that great? That was nice of him. So we got to talk about religion for a little bit. So if Donald Trump is the Antichrist, then there's something that's really bad going to happen when he's dead. Or when he almost dies. Because he, of course, like Jesus, he's going to come back. Right? He's not actually going to die. He's going to come back. Donald Trump is going to be taken down by the deep state. He's going to fake his death. And the Bible actually, I think, mentions Donald Trump. He says, then there came flashes of lightning, rumblings, peals of thunder, and a severe earthquake. No earthquake like it has ever occurred since mankind has been on earth. So tremendous was the quake. And this earthquake is referring to the Seattle Beastquake. The Cascadia subduction zone megaquake is coming. That's the Black Swan. And then, of course, when Jesus died, there was a large earthquake. Now, when the centurion and they that were with him watching Jesus saw the earthquake and those things that were done, they feared greatly, saying, truly, this was the Son of God. So the sheep are going to call Donald Trump the Son of God. The sheep are going to say that Mother Nature is retaliating for Donald Trump's death because he's the Antichrist. Okay? So when Donald Trump dies, you need to get out of Seattle. You probably need to get out of San Francisco already. But when Donald Trump dies, there's going to be a megaquake in Seattle. And when King Charles dies, there's going to be a megaquake in Seattle as well. So for parody purposes only, all of these celebrities aren't actually breaking their foot. Yeah, they're not all breaking their foot. What's going on is that they consumed adrenochrome. So they're actually wearing ankle monitors. Right? They're wearing ankle monitors. Kobe Bryant died in a helicopter crash. Aviation. This is all connected to airplanes. I'll show that. But Kobe Bryant and all these celebrities, allegedly, they're wearing ankle monitors. Yeah, they didn't break their foot. And Joe Biden also he broke his foot. You might remember that. Why are all these celebrities wearing ankle monitors? Because they consumed adrenochrome and or did naughty stuff with children. Why is Joe Biden wearing a mask? Why are all these politicians and liberal celebrities wearing ankle monitors? It's because Donald Trump, he did something about all this trafficking that was going on. He did something about all this trafficking. He arrested these, right? He arrested them. And he put, what happens when you get arrested? You get an ankle monitor so they can track you. That's why Joe Biden is wearing a mask. Because his military tribunal didn't go so well. Yeah, it looks like they pushed the guilty button on Joe Biden. And what happens when you consume adrenochrome and you do too many bad things to kids? You get executed. Well, you can't just go tell the whole country, hey, we executed Joe Biden. We're going to replace him. We're going to replace him with a naval officer. So that's what watch the water means. All these politicians are being tried, and now we literally have P. Diddy, who was friends with all of these politicians and celebrities. He's in jail right now. And what's he probably doing? He's probably singing like a bird. So this is all going to come out publicly. But it already happened. It already happened. Mass arrests were made in 2020. That's why everyone had to stay inside and wear a mask. You wore a mask to program you to know that Joe Biden is wearing a mask. The masks are programming you to understand Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton, Elon Musk, and others were arrested and replaced with body doubles. So what's going on here? What's the next Black Swan? Well, one of these trafficking centers is in Seattle. Okay, one of these child trafficking underground tunnels is in Seattle. So they're going to have to destroy it. But they're not just going to destroy it. They're going to use a megaquake, right? They didn't just go destroy the Biltmore estate. They flooded it out with Hurricane Helene. And I predicted a Katrina-like situation. One of my most viral tweets before I got banned from search. I predicted a Katrina-like situation to strike and specifically flood out Disney World, which did happen. So Donald Trump is going to be taken down by the deep state. And when he does, just like when Jesus died, because Donald Trump is the antichrist, there's going to be a megaquake. And the megaquake is going to occur where? In Seattle. Okay, where the first case of COVID was. Like everyone was wearing a mask. So the crown virus, all those children were wearing a mask. Why? Because Joe Biden is wearing a mask in this picture, which you can clearly see. And all these politicians that were friends with him, they are wearing ankle monitors. They are not breaking their foot. Not every celebrity broke their foot at the exact same time, dummy. They're wearing ankle monitors. Why? Because they consumed adrenochrome. So Jeffrey Epstein's list, right? Donald Trump saying he's going to declassify it. He's going to take down the deep state as his role playing Jesus Christ. That's his claim to Christness, is that Donald Trump took down the deep state and he's going to get rid of all these sick pedos. Okay? And so when the deep state tries to take him down, the world, just like when Jesus died, is going to retaliate. There's going to be a beast quake. There's going to be a mega quake, like how Marshawn Lynch and Taylor Swift caused a mega quake. Where? In Seattle. There are deep underground centers in Seattle and San Francisco. So when Donald Trump takes down the deep state, Mother Nature is going to react. Okay, but what's really going on here? Of course, you don't have to be a scientist to figure out what's really going on here. If you know what HAARP stands for, you'll be able to figure it out. But we got to talk about aliens for a little bit, because when they get into when they get you guys in camps, they're not going to tell you all of this. No. When they get you guys in camps, they're going to tell you that the aliens did all this. And so that's where the airplanes and Boeing come in. King Charles, for parody and entertainment purposes only, King Charles consumed adrenochrome, and he is going to die. This is a major marker for the Seattle Beastquake, because it's called King County. In the following clip, we see at the FIFA World Cup in 2020, we can observe Elon Musk white hat controlled double. What is going on here? A giant cult already knows all of this. Donald Trump's cult already knows all of this. In the following video clip at the FIFA World Cup Finals 2022, we can observe Elon Musk's white hat controlled double, also known as Q Elon, which I think is pretty clever, clearly wearing a skin mask that connects his neck to his torso. And if you look in this video, you can see there's a line right there on his neck. Right? So aliens, airplanes, and earthquakes, oh my. So what they're really going to tell you when you're in camps is that the aliens are coming. Right? The aliens, I figured out the freaking black swan. I'm so smart. Oh my gosh. I can't believe I did this. They're going to tell you that the aliens are coming. And that the aliens are the reason. They're from planet Nibiru, right? The planet is by the sun. That's why they're spraying chemtrails at the sun every day, so that you can't see the aliens. And they're going to tell you all this nonsense about aliens. I really can't believe anyone believes this or will believe it. But, then I saw how dumb people were. And I was like, you know what? They're definitely going to believe this. So there's going to be a big earthquake and all these, there's going to be more plane crashes, right? And yeah, there's going to be more plane crashes, and they're going to be blamed on aliens. The gravity from planet Nibiru, which is rapidly approaching, is causing all of these plane problems. And you see Boeing is headquartered in Everett, Washington, and it is an anagram with the big one. So you will be told that, quote unquote, someone is trying to cover up the aliens, but it's reverse psychology. They want you to know about the aliens because that's how they're going to get you in a camp. Yeah, they're going to get you in a camp. And I'm going to be there. Yeah, I have a really important role because my followers already know all of this stuff. And so I was actually assigned by someone to form a giant cult that already knows all of this stuff, right? This is part of predictive programming. And so you guys are my cult, and we're all going to be in camp together. Isn't that fun? And I'm going to be your charismatic leader that convinces you this is all okay. But for the rest of the sheep, assuming they don't die in the beastquake, yeah, they're going to be in camp. They're going to be told that someone was trying to cover up aliens. And this is 10,000 times. You know how they lied about Area 51? They covered it up. This is like that on steroids. They're going to cover up these aliens from planet Nibiru, but I'm pretty sure Donald Trump is going to declassify it or something. So what's the next black swan? When King Charles dies and or Donald Trump, there is going to be a mega quake in Seattle, and at some point San Francisco, that is also that is so massive. This earthquake is going to be so massive, just like the Bible says, it's unforeseen earthquake. It's going to be so massive it causes a multi-state emergency. The United States will be divided into 12 districts, and you will be directed to a camp where you're told underground trafficking centers were destroyed and that aliens caused the earthquake. Isn't that fun?